Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich, where we are playing as the Union of South Africa. And I'm going to unpause the game because it looks like the CNT FAI might actually win the Spanish Civil War, and I've been very enthralled with this while waiting for our focuses to finish. If they can take and hold Toledo and Madrid, I think it's pretty much over. I think it would be very difficult for the nationalists to... And actually, the nationalists are starting to get eaten by the Carlists now. The Carlists were really not doing well for a long time. Now it looks like or the kingdom, rather, not the nationalists. Kingdom of Spain might actually lose first. The 1938... excuse me. Union of South Africa's general elections have clearly transformed into a referendum on the country's future. Either the nationalists will retain control of the Volksraad and set about solidifying white Afrikaner rule through a full system of apartheid, or they will be defeated by the Dominion Party, will move to fully enact the Port Elizabeth Declaration and the formation of a new federal South Africa. In what is likely to become the most important election in the nation's history, tensions are running high as reports of violent incidents throughout the country increase with each passing day. We're gonna go with the Dominion Party. We ain't about that apartheid. Alright, after a contentious election which has divided the Union of South Africa in two, the Dominion Party, led by General Jan Christian Smuts, has declared victory, though with the slimmest of majorities, not slimiest. In the country's parliament, voting in South Africa is restricted mainly to whites, split between the Afrikaners in the north and the British in the south, and with the British vehemently supporting Smuts, they were able to achieve victory. Unrest in the Afrikaner areas is on the rise, however, particularly among those who fear Dominion plans for rapprochement with the Entente, and many are predicting the country will fall into violence or even civil war before long. Oh well, great. So we have a civil war as a possibility. That's wonderful. It'd be hilarious if the Carlists won after they were getting their asses kicked so bad. That would be pretty funny, not gonna lie. Alright. Looks like they're closing some pockets around the nationalists. Azerbaijan has joined the Reichspakt. What is their faction called? Are they the Royalists? They're Kingdom of Spain. I guess they're just the Bourbonists, technically. I'll call them the Bourbonists from now on. Bourbonists are still stubbornly holding on to Madrid. Very stubbornly. J.R.R. Tolkien, The Downfall of Numenor. Fantastic. The Alwyn and Unwin Publishing House today released a new book by the South African author J.R.R. Tolkien. The Downfall of Numenor tells the story of the destruction of the mystical island kingdom of Numenor, who set out to free the continent of Middle-earth from the reign of the Dark Lord Sauron, but in the end fell victim to its own weakness and corruption. And the gods sank their proud island beneath the uncaring waves of the sea. Only a small band of men still loyal to the gods were able to flee the cataclysm of the sinking island to found new realms and distant lands. Professor Tolkien denies that his book was inspired by the British and French post-war revolutions, and states that the initial ideas for the story and others set in the same world of Middle-earth came to him during his time as a soldier in the trenches of France. Interesting, so there's even an alternate universe version of Lord of the Rings. That's kind of cool. That they've thought about how literature would be affected by the changes to the timeline. See, what focus we're working on? Okay, we're building some military factories. We're almost done. That's good, because that means we'll be able to start producing artillery again. Alright. South African recovery. Get rid of the effects of Black Monday. Let's do it. And then we'll go down this. Finally, we're in a position to put Black Monday behind us once and for all. Let us move forward into an area of strength for the South African economy. We have free factories. Our largest deficit is definitely infantry equipment. So we're going to put those towards infantry equipment. Resource-wise, we should be okay. Decisions available. Legislate freedoms. Perhaps the easiest way to improve our country's stability is to give people what they want. It will involve some uncomfortable compromises, but ideally these are measures that are only temporary and designed to placate them until order can be properly restored. So it takes 100 political power and it gives us weekly stability plus 50, and it costs consumer goods factories. We're not going to do that right now. Preparations for the centenary celebrations. The centennial anniversary of the Great Trek is a little under a month away. The centenary celebrations are planned to commence with reenactment of the trek beginning on 8th of August 1938, with 9 ox wagons departing from the statue of Jan van Riebeck in Cape Town and ending at the completed Voortrekker monument in Pretoria, at which point the monument shall be inaugurated by the President. The whole affair is meant to be a celebration of Afrikaner culture and heritage, but the situation in the country has since changed, and such a lavish event could very well be met with open hostility by the other racial groups, and even the pro-British population, who are likely to see it as a display of Afrikaner triumphalism. Shall we continue as planned or adopt a more modest approach? So we lose stability either way, but we're going to go with the modest approach. Uruguay wins the World Cup. Congratulations, Uruguay. I'm very surprised that the Bourbonists have been able to hold Toledo and Madrid this long. They do have some terrain advantages on their side. Toledo's in the hills. Madrid is across a river, although it's almost surrounded now. So we should be... We're actually net losing support equipment and artillery.
Listen up!
Maybe we should stop exercising our troops. Yeah, let's do that. We do have... Do we have enough army experience to do what we want? Yeah, we will. Once we... Yeah, we have exactly enough to add 3 more support divisions to each of those. So that was actually almost a perfect time to stop exercising. Our army is kind of where we want it to be. 100 years ago today, our ancestors set out from the Cape seeking life, land, and liberty free from British domination. The ceremony was lackluster, the poor funding self-evident. This was offset, however, by the large turnout of Afrikaners from other parts of South Africa, including a group calling themselves the Oxwagon Sentinels. Unfortunately, this militia of sorts clashed with local police who struggled to handle the larger-than-expected crowds. With violence escalating, the police tried to halt the procession and disperse the reenactors, which resulted in shots being exchanged. The policemen and 17 of the Asavab Rondvog were killed, and many more reenactors and bystanders were injured. Okay, so that probably turned out worse than if we had just let them have their trek. Throughout the former Boer Republic's branches of the Asavab Rondvog have formed and have begun to organize protests against the government, many of them descending into rioting. The Afrikaner nationalists target natives and Britons alike as they view these groups as collaborating against them to destroy Afrikaner culture. Police and military units stationed nearby have been reluctant to intervene and have done little to end the violence. Alright, so things are going quite poorly for us right now. We're probably going to have to fight a civil war. Probably. ISL mine workers strike. The ISL syndicalists have encouraged the mine workers of the Orange Free State to go on strike to protest the Osava Brandvag attacks. Casey, you can't dig there. That's a carpet. Casey's trying to dig the carpet again. With deaths on both sides, the industrial unrest looks set to spread to the Transvaal now with no sign of ending anytime soon. Well, hey, maybe we'll get a chance to go socialist. That'd be cool. Alright. Get some mobile defense doctrine going. We got better computers. How are we doing on industry? We're doing pretty well. Let's get some encryption going. Let's get some improved infantry equipment going. Inauguration of the Voortrekker Monument. The reenactment of the Great Trek that left Cape Town 2 weeks ago has arrived in Pretoria. President Smuts was unable to attend as recent incidents across the country compromised the security of the event. Instead, ex-President Herzog made an unscheduled address the crowd, proudly proclaiming that the Afrikaner nation must stand together to preserve its way of life, and that he would never surrender the Union of South Africa to the Britons or the natives. The ceremony was an extravagant affair, almost exclusively due to generous Osava Brandvag contributions. With tens of thousands attending, Pretoria and Johannesburg have since been gripped with nationalist frenzy, with incidents of violence reported across the town against British and native residents. We are down to almost no stability. In response to recent events, today in the Pretoria City Hall, the provincial governors of both the Transvaal and Orange Free State have declared their secession from the Union of South Africa, effective immediately. They have formed together the Second Zuid-Afrikaanse Republic and named Herzog as their new president. Afrikaner units have deserted to join the ZAR, and the Republic has been raising their own armed forces, many coming from militias of the Osava Brandvag. Okay, so if it's a fight they want, moves our capital to the Western Cape, they start a civil war, the Dominion Party becomes the ruling party, or play will continue as the Republic. Yeah, we're gonna fight them. So they've declared war on us, and they have quite a bit of land. So here's what we're gonna do. The very first thing we're gonna do. Oh, the Smoots Commando. I love it. Alright, the very first thing we're gonna do. Yeah, we'll keep George Brink in command. Then, yeah, we're gonna have Jan Smuts lead the way. We are going to seize everything along this river here. And we want to assign everybody to this order. Alright. With their recent victory in the South African 1938 elections, it was assumed the Dominion Party under President Jan Smuts had finally united the nation and ended the question of the country's future. Widespread violence, which broke out at the country's centenary celebrations, have spread throughout the country, however, culminating today as the leaders in Pretoria and Bloemfontein declared their secession from the Union and the creation of the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republic. Battle lines have already been drawn, splitting the country in two as a new Boer War has broken out to determine South Africa's path once and for all. Not sure why it's not letting me assign these guys to an order. Maybe I need to wait for the commanders to get there. Or it's just a bug. I suppose we'll find out shortly. British Indian aid arrives. The Dominion of India, desiring our victory in this conflict, have sent aid in the form of weapons and supplies. In addition to this, many volunteers and technical experts have joined our soldiers in facing the Afrikaner nationalists. It also looks like we could hire a chief of the army. Decisive battle. Elastic defense. I think we're going to get James Mitchell Baker for the +10 division attack. 3. Canadian aid arrives. Awesome. 1. Norway's joined the Entente. That's good.
Ready, sir.
All right. Delete all orders. Just... I don't know why you guys are making this difficult.
Ready, sir.
There we go. Execute the order. There we go. We can dislodge them and push them off the coast. That will make this a lot easier.
Attention.
Alright, so you guys head there and then straight there.
Orders. Commands.
You guys are marching, right?
Let them have it.
Looks good. Alright. Kingdom of Serbia has capitulated. Don't want to lose Port Elizabeth, but I might have already goofed that up. Alright. Now we're gonna drag this line out. Why? Why you do this to me? Apparently we can't do that. We have to do separate shit. Okay. So you guys go there. I think it's because it's bordering two different states. Alright. Don't let them have Port Elizabeth. Take it back as quickly as possible. I've actually been to Port Elizabeth, South Africa.
Ready.
Believe it or not. Alright. So, here's the situation we have here. It's all mountainous along the coast, which kind of sucks. I think our main thrust, after we take Port Elizabeth back,
Ready, sir.
our main thrust is going to be towards Pretoria. We want to take Pretoria as quickly as possible, and we want to take it by following a route along the plains that will get us both Blomfton and Kimberley. Yeah, and then a sweep quickly across the river up to Pretoria like that. I think that is what we want to do.
Ready, sir.
We're going to execute that plan. These guys are just going to brute force their way back into Port Elizabeth so that we can hold that very useful strategic position. Hellenic Republic has declared war in Greece. Okay. So now everyone's on the same page. Everybody execute the order. Don't know how that happened. We should still be in supply, though. Alright, our ideology has grown. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I wish we could side with the natives rather than the... Oh, we have not selected a focus, have we? Do we have any available focuses? Or do we just have to finish the Civil War first? Oh, we can do... Call to rise up. Capital State. We have to have full control of the Western Cape. Okay. We're gonna do We Need Arms. Our forces are rapidly running out of proper equipment. If they're going to keep up the fight, we must look to the international market for a quick solution. Alright. Let's make it happen. Why are you guys just letting them... Okay, I see what's going on here.
Ready to move.
See where the problem is. Just delete. Can we just delete all orders? Okay. Right there. Single front line. Pretoria is our target. We are going to get there via this route. Execute. Do not let them penetrate into the interior like this. For the love of all that is good. You cannot let them take Cape Town. We will literally lose the war because you guys have chosen a dumb interpretation of my orders. Also, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay.
Ready to move.
Just cut them off. Pin them down. Whatever you need to do.
Guns.
That is one of the more whack, like,
Ready.
very dumb interpretations of an order I've given that I have ever seen in all my days of Hearts of Iron. But at least they're kind of encircled. Like, we kind of pulled off something
Pull in.
useful without really meaning to.
Ready, sir.
Like, that's not at all what we were trying to do, but, alright, we got arms. What else can we get right now? Nothing, really. We'll build up, we'll let the political power build up, that's what we'll do. Meanwhile, we'll build some factories, because we don't really have access to a lot of industry right now.
Pushing them back, sir.
Alright. Encryption, decryption, all that good stuff.
Keep moving.
We gotta know the rebel secret codes. And they took Port Elizabeth again. As long as we can hold Cape Town. Alright.
Ready to move.
Whole army, get on the damn front line. Take Port Elizabeth back by whatever means are necessary. Everybody, that includes you, execute the plan. Don't dilly-dally around. You guys have been fairly significant disappointment so far. Do we have an air force? No, we don't. That is okay. Do we have a focus available now? Okay, we must win the war. National spirit, war support, all that stuff. Vital that we rally our side. This civil war will decide the future of our nation. Alright, cool. The big push, max planning speed, division attack plus 25 for 90 days. That sounds good. Let's read what it says. We must gather our will and make a push into enemy territory. We'll only have one chance to do this, so we've got to make it count. Go, go, go. I'm not going to put you on aggressive execution, because last time I did that
Yes, sir.
on a stream, I literally got my entire army killed because I was being too aggressive. My entire army. Like, they did not fall back. They all died. Every one of them. My divisions disappeared because I was pushing them too hard. It is possible to do that. I could send these guys out on a port strike mission because I'm pretty sure they don't have a navy, but I would kind of just be destroying my own ports in the long run because we do plan to take those back someday. Alright. I'd be having a much easier time here if you guys could have just held Port Elizabeth, but you know, sometimes that might be too much to ask. Just gonna give a manual attack order here. There we go. See, that worked. Show a little bit of initiative. First SAF Infantry Division. Well, that's why. They're the first. The fighting first infantry. We might actually get to Pretoria before we take that mountain province back. Alright, we got the big push. We got better infantry equipment. Call to rise up. Now that we've taken a portion of our enemy territory, we must call our allies there. Tell them the time has come to rise up. 2 units of native rebels will pop up in Cape Town. See, that's how you know we're the good guys, because the natives are helping us. Said many a colonial empire who were not in fact good.
Keep on attacking!
Alright. Hitting them from 2 sides at Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein? Bloemfontein? Bloemfontein. Okay.
Listen up!
I want you guys to join this order. And we have a research slot available. Can we spend it on computers? No. Can we spend it on industry? Yes. We need more arms. Once again, our equipment stocks run low. We'll have to dig deep if we are going to continue this war. Okay. So could it have gone better? Yes. Do I think we're still going to win anyway? Also, yes. Alright. We've almost cleared them out of our major cities in the south. So we're going to take Pretoria, we're going to take Mafeking, and then we'll probably sweep towards the coast and take Durban. There's a nice little area here. I mean, Durban still is mountain terrain, but we could push through this pass, which would make it a lot easier to approach the city at least.